Well, today's Friday the 13th of February. Tomorrow will be Valentine's Day. It was 16 last night. See up here we put about 72 degrees. And this weekend it was supposed to get down to 5. Now they're saying it's going to get down to 9. I keep that jealousy window cracked so it does let some of this heat during the day go onto the porch. Although I don't have anything on the porch now that'll freeze. And just a little thought about what's going on in here. And since my bride is retired and we're going to be limited on paychecks, I'm going to put my advertising on my channel. I've not done it up to this point, but we probably could use a little bit of extra money every month to try to offset her loss of paychecks. Well, it's Sunday the 8th of February. Pretty warm out here, don't need a jacket. It's supposed to get in the mid-60s. And we'll slide in here. That's why the old man likes to fill this tank up inside this greenhouse, because it gets warmer when it's really cold. 105 degrees in the old greenhouse. Almost too hot. Well, it's 2:15 on February the 8th of Sunday, and it's 67 degrees outside in Central Virginia. And you can walk around, there's a little bit of breeze, so you might want a light coat. Well, this old yard hydrant's doing a good job for us. The nice thing about them is, since you can get such bad weather, you can't get to your cottage. If you left the water onto your cottage and didn't drain it, and the power went off, you could burst pipes and toilets and all. And when you're down here, rather than energize all your water in your house, you can fill buckets up and use that in the bathroom when necessary. Gotta go find my bride. She's picking up pine cones. Well, there's my bride out there picking up pine cones. She had a big party a couple weeks ago for her. Then they had another party for her at somebody's home a couple days later. And Friday she retired, and yesterday they had a big party for the entire company, and that was the last thing that we attended. And so she's already gotten up peace pine cones. There's only very few times of the year that they fall, but she's picking them up off the bank. You can see some pine needles down here because it's dangerous to ride the lawnmower on the hill. Nice down here, 67 degrees, light breeze. Well, for dinner we have twice baked potatoes, a nice chicken roasted, and the apple crisp from our Granny Smith apples from our tree, and a vegetable still in the oven. Well, my bride's birthday is what made her retirement happen, and this is the cake that I got her to celebrate her birthday. Well, we started with 370 some onions that I harvested the first week of July, and we got August, September, October, November, December, January. Now we're into February, though that's over 7 months. Now the problem with onions sprouting, they will do it because it's just time for them to do it. But the other thing is you have to keep them in a cool place. And our back porch is jalousied, and it's really great, except it does get warm periods. Like Saturday a couple of weeks ago was 65 degrees. So if the inside of the house and the lower level of this dry level is cooler, we'd move them in there. But we just can't keep them cool enough without them freezing, because the back porch could freeze when it gets down to like 5 to 10 degrees. So they do sprout on us. And they're perfectly good and usable. Occasionally you'll find one that's bad. Of all of these, we may have had as many as 15, maybe 20 at the maximum, that really more than half was not usable. But you can cut that off. You can see where it's gotten harder at the bottom where it's trying to grow roots. And all you have to do is pop all this off and just cut that out and cut the bottom out and use it. And we got plenty of them frozen. And we were using these, and I came out to do these to get a few, and I would take the ones that's the most grown to start with. And if I was in need of onions, I would do them all and freeze them. But we still have this many that haven't sprouted. You can see that one's just starting to try. And we got one big one left that hadn't sprouted. So much for the onions. And it's still February the 13th, of Friday, and this particular cactus is still in bloom. See, it still has flowers to open. And sometimes if you rotate them slowly in the window so each side gets a little bit of light, you'll get some of those buds that maybe weren't going to open in the dark to open. And my clavia, I don't know what it's going to do, but it's slowly coming up, but it's taking forever. It should have already been up, although it's way early for it to be blooming. Normally it's later than this, but we've been looking at this for probably 2.5 weeks, and it should have been out. But you can see it's still coming up, just ever so slowly.